Alrighty folks, this is for section 1.2, which is on imperial measurement. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, imperial measurement is basically what the United States still uses. United States and one other country, sorry, not just one other country, it's the US, Liberia, and Burma. There you go, that still use the imperial system, so this is not necessarily something you'll be coming across everywhere you go. However, the imperial system of measurement for length, like inches and feet, is something that we use extensively here in North America, so this is a worthy area to study because you will come across it. And next section we'll be talking about the different, or changing between the two different systems, which is very important when, say for example, a Canadian institution does engineering drawings for an American institution which uses the imperial system, and making sure that we communicate in the same way. So again, communication is huge. Anyways, so just first of all, looking at how this works, we'll look at a ruler first of all for an imperial ruler. Now this one that we have here is very convenient, but not realistic because you'll never find all those uh, gradations marked for you. Usually it's just the 5 and the 6. Everything else you're left to figure it on your own. So say goodbye because those lines and numbers are going to disappear here in just a second. This is normally what you're going to see, and it's up to you to be able to figure out the value of each of those lines. And so, you kind of count each of the lines there. You can start to figure out which one each one is worth. In other words, if you count these little lines, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there, each one is a 16th of an inch. So that one's a 16th. This one is 2/16ths, but that means it's an eighth because it reduces down. This is 3/16ths, doesn't reduce down. This is 4/16ths, which is the same as 1/4. You get the idea, like that. And obviously this is a half. So it's up to you to be able to recognize those and to be able to do stuff like 4.5 inches plus 3 3/8. And yes, your calculators do it, but you should really learn to do it without, just because that's going to happen a lot on, like, say, a tape measure for all of those you heading towards any kind of construction, or just if you like construction as a hobby, woodworking, whatever, use it all the time. And we can talk a bit more about that right now, I suppose. So if you wanted to kind of add, well, adding the 3 is easy enough, right, to do this. You just go, okay, well, it's going to be 7.5. I just added 3 to my 4.5, and then you just need to add 3/8, and you can do it right on the tape measure itself. Is you find, say, the half-inch mark, and then add 3/8. 3/8 is simply 6/16ths of an inch, right? And so, for example, here is the half mark here, and then if I wanted to add 3/8, I would add, well, 6/16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's this one right here, and this happens to be the 7/8 mark. Okay, and so I could go, okay, well, that's going to be 7 7/8. All right, and that again is something you can do fairly easily on a tape measure itself. Not really a big deal there. The other thing we want to look at as well is um, the vernier calipers, the imperial calipers, sorry, stumbling with my words a little bit there. And that's actually the one that I showed you today. I didn't tell you that it was, but it was, sorry. So we've already looked at both, so this should look really familiar to you. Okay, so this is one we saw today in class. And again, each one of these lines here is 0.1 of an inch instead of centimeters now. It's just 0.1 of an inch. The process is exactly the same, so there's nothing really new here. So again, I'm going to look at where this 0 line lines up, and this is 3.10 here. This is 3.125, and this is 3.150. So I know it's 3.125 plus something, and the something that I'm going to add is going to come from the bottom scale, the moving scale. And so if you kind of look over here, it looks like let's say this one here, 16, is one that lines up. So I'm going to say, okay, well, that's plus 0.016. And so I'm going to get 3.141 inches. Okay? And that's kind of how you do that. So we've done this already, so there's nothing really fantastically new here. But in the next video, we'll take a look at just one other thing, I think, and then that'll probably wrap it up. So here we go, next video.